why the intro's not playing. So I guess, Doug, you gotta talk.
Okay, great? We're just scratching the intro?
Yep, we're scratching the intro for today. So hi, guys.
All right. Okay, here we go. We're going to jump in. I'm going to go to movie voice, okay? Let's go to movie
We're
voice
ready.
first.
We're ready. We're hot
Okay,
and ready.
ready?
Okay.
I'm ready. Two women who have been unjustly confined to a prison planet plot their escape, all the while having to put up with lesbian guards, crazed wardens, and mutant rodents. Sandy Brooke and Susie Stokey star in Star Slammer. What's happening, everybody? Welcome to the Worst of the Worst podcast. I'm your host, Mr. Doug Carrion from Los Angeles, California. How are we doing today? And man, do we have a movie to talk about. Holy smokes, Batman. Okay, here we go. Star Slammer. I don't know what this is really like. Maybe now, maybe out there in the zeros and ones, maybe out there in podcast land or movie land, in cinema land, you're a person that really loves like Star Wars, but also likes bondage. So you love Star Wars and you're like, I also like, kind of bondage films and stuff like that. Then brothers and sisters, this movie is for you because it is crazy. I think I saw more women tied down in this film that was a film than ever before that wasn't a porno film. So holy smokes, if you want to see women getting tied down and stuff like that, and like ray guns and shit, like Star Wars style, Star Slammer from 1985, 86 minutes of epic strangeness. And that's what we're going to talk about today on the Worst of the Worst podcast. Amen. So let me introduce you to my partner in crime, the woman that puts the R in ratchet, all the way from New Jersey. Let's hear it for Miss Courtney Blue. Come on, Courtney, what do you got?
Hello. I don't even know what to say. I don't know whether to congratulate you or rather to like slap you in the face. But 86 minutes I'm pretty happy about because the last ones were a doozy. So that's one thing I could say. I do appreciate, but I do have a lot of points to hit on. Probably my favorite one of all 5 weeks that we've been doing this for many reasons.
Okay, I love it, and I can't wait to get into it. Let me introduce our second guest, the man that put the K in Kiss My Ass, all the way from Seattle, the fantastic, the smart, multi-talented Mr. Carlos Dillard. How the F are you, Carlos? What's going on? And did you see Star Slammer?
Unfortunately, yes. I saw it.
Don't be so down. Don't be so down. Come on, Carlos.
This is the last time I'm volunteering for this podcast.
You didn't get your check?
No. I couldn't get paid enough to watch any of these more of these movies.
Okay, so you want to be on the B list from this point moving forward?
If any movie has titties in it, just count Carlos out.
Oh, come on! You don't see. I was gonna say the man that put the D in Dick, Carlos Dillard, but I kind of held back on that. But this one was really like there wasn't anything in respect to like I guess we're going to get into a little bit later, but don't you remember when Bantor was getting whipped with like one of those things?
Yeah, that was some fetish type shit.
That was pretty strange.
So we're assuming that Carlos likes strange instead of titties. Is that where we're at right now?
I think that's where Doug is going. Doug is like, at least there was some male bondage in it. I know you got to deal with some titties.
That's what
Come on,
saying.
there's no titties.
You like the male bondage?
I love your white guy accent, dude. Do it again.
Doug, you're reaching. You are definitely reaching with that one.
Definitely
so
reaching.
No, I heard it. I know what's going on. All right, let's start at the top of this movie. Carlos, great to have you here. Thank you again. We won't torture you too much, Courtney. You know I love you. Great to have you. Here we go. We're jumping into this movie. So it opens up, and lo and behold, there's a woman. It opens up, for God's sake. 6 seconds in, there is a woman shackled and being beaten with leeches on her back. 0.6 seconds in, woman shackled, leeches, and a one-eyed dominatrix woman putting leeches on her. What is going on? Here we go, Star Slammer. So we learned that the person being shackled is one of the prison guards named Mikey. Okay. And Mikey will get into, the story never even arcs into why Mikey's in prison, but Mikey's in prison and we see that there's this prison scene. Okay. And then, character disciplinarian that's putting the leeches on. And then it kind of pulls back and it says, Death of Planet Arus, which I guess is chapter 1, maybe
Doug,
what they're...
Yes, let's talk about it saying chapter 1. That is my first problem. Because why is this movie split up in chapters in the fucking first place? It's 86 minutes. Like, I'm sorry. Okay, continue, because that's going to bother me forever.
I'm going to keep going, but I've got some funny trivia at the end we're going to get into. Okay, so the next shot, basically, we see kind of like a meteor getting ready. Look, it's a meteor. It's a ship getting ready to land on a planet. Okay, and so I guess I'm putting one and one together and assuming that this ship is landing on planet Arus. And we see a shepherd that's walking through. He's walking through what looks like maybe the desert or the mountains, and there's a small group of these kind of like space alien goblin kind of people that are following the shepherd, and the shepherd says to them, "Hey, I come here in peace. My name's Sai or Sal. I come in peace." And my first question is, are there rabbis? Where are we? Are we in the future? Is that what's going on? Have you? Yes, we're in the future. So the rabbis are in the future.
I was confused. I thought maybe we were like, because it took me back to that Twilight Zone episode when like the ship lands and then they find like this woman that can't speak any English, and then they find out later it's supposed to be like Eve from Adam and Eve. But anyway, it brought me back to that, so I couldn't tell if it was like old school future or like current future.
And do you know, I know that episode very well, and guess who was the woman? The woman was Elizabeth Montgomery, who starred in Bewitched, the guy was Charles Bronson, a young Charles Bronson.
Was it really? I didn't even notice
that. It's badass. It's like, because Charles Bronson was like, he was in World War II when he was like 15, so even though he wasn't very old, he looked really old and haggard. And so this was kind of like him before he looked all old and chafed.
I never knew that. Oh my God, you hit me with some knowledge bombs. I feel intellectual now.
Okay, here we go. So we're wondering whether this is a rabbi or not, and then all of a sudden out jumps Tora, not Laura, but Tora, who's this girl dressed in this kind of like cave-like futuristic outfit with her boobs hanging out, but it's kind of like what do they call it? Like a Brazilian bathing suit kind of thing, like thong bathing suit. That's what it is. And